It is Friday, January the 14th, 2022, and I want to welcome you to Shortcuts for Your Soul. My name is William Michael Forrest. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. And today I have Hermes Trismegistus with me on the conception that was brought forth by him in comprehending the secrets of the universe. And the concept is as above, so below. One of the things he says is that it's really important you understand that this needs to be understood at a very fundamental level first, a very fundamental level before the broader esoteric implications and realities of this concept can be utilized, grasped, and applied in your life. The process of below and the process of above are different states of the relationship one has with different levels of consciousness. The concept of as below, so above denotes the relationship between different levels of consciousness. The conception of below was a state of consciousness that you existed in when you came into that physical body in which you find yourself right now. That body that you came into quite openly and receptively without any sense of separateness from all that is. In that position of openness, you remained receptive to that in consciousness, which was at that time from conception to around what you call your biological age of 7. A place of receptivity, where your mind is open and receptive to those around you, those who are above you in consciousness, in knowledge, in experience, and that these ones above you, and we do not mean in a derogatory sense, but simply those that were above you, provided that to you which was below them, you as that consciousness in that young form, open and receptive to that which is above, you received information, images, ideas, and understandings of what was above you. Now, you had no way at that point to reason upon or question that which is above you, so that there would be a continuity in the evolution of your consciousness from an open and receptive and literally unaware state to a state of becoming cognizant and aware that you are an entity that exists independent of thought, body, and emotion. In that place of open receptivity, you found yourself at the mercy of what others decided was warranted as good or bad information to give you. And you simply received it. You were open to receiving all that was provided to you, whether it was good or bad by your definition. At this point of reflection, you simply accepted everything for the first 4 to 6 years of the lifespan of the biological consciousness that you are currently inhabiting and from which you are living and through which you are expressing. The same relationship exists in this day between you and the greater awareness that you may and must learn to become open and receptive to. You must learn to become open and receptive to that which is above you. However, many of you have found yourselves in the situation where you were receiving that which was above, and it was detrimental and even harmful and made no sense to what you were beginning to comprehend when that process of comprehension became available to you as an awareness. The relationship in the hierarchy of angels, the relationship in the hierarchies of the masters, the hierarchy even in the human realm is based on this principle. Those who know more, whether it is true or false, offer what they have to those that know less, those that are open and receptive to it. The very same relationship exists throughout the different levels of consciousness, whether it is biological, astral, or etheric. The same relationship, as above, so below, exists. When you come to the place where you begin to question and consider what you think and what you believe and what you know, when you come to that place of awareness, the relationship that existed between you and the environment when you were younger and open and receptive to that which was above you now exists within you. The relationship of your awareness to that which is within you now takes the role of that which is above to that which is below. You reach a place in consciousness where you can begin to question, alter, change, and offer new information and ideas to the internalized system that is receptive and directly connected to infinite intelligence within you, as equally it is connected to the infinite intelligence around you. For that same intelligence exists on all planes, spaces, and dimensions at all times. So now you have awareness, and you are able to examine and question the thoughts, the ideas, and the information that was given to you freely from the moment of your conception to the moment of your inception in that body, to the moment of your awakening that body, realizing you have an independent awareness, separate and distinct from the awareness of others. From this perspective of awareness, you can begin to reorchestrate, to reorganize, to alter and change the information that was freely given to you during that formative process of evolution through that physical form in which you find yourself now. So now that you have this relationship of as above, you are above the thoughts, you are above the emotions, you are above the physiology as awareness, and you are now able to alter, change, instill, reorganize, and even build conceptions that transcend or go beyond the conceptions you currently hold. This is a deliberate process of self-evolving now. The moment you have a relative position between your awareness and that which is below you, and even that which is above you, you have the opportunity to begin a process of deliberate and intentional transformation from a state of being that may be very limited to a state of absolute freedom and bliss. I have decided to stay very centered on the fundamental, obvious elements of your consciousness that you can observe and analyze for yourself. That you are unawareness, that you can be aware of the thoughts contained within your body, that you can be aware of the emotions that body has stored within it, that you can be aware of the environment around you. In that position of awareness, all things, relatively speaking, are below you. Not that they are less than you, but they are different in the spectrum of consciousness relative to the other elements. There are spectrums of consciousness above you, equally even now in your awareness. You call them your guides, your angels, ascended masters, multidimensional beings, beings from other planetary systems that have mastered the fundamental principles of creation and established very clear, understood relationships between themselves and the very energy that is the life force that flows through all things, all spaces, all places, and all times. The process of your liberation begins in understanding this simple relationship: as above, so below. Many of you have decided to cut yourself off from the awareness of certain things because of pain, because of suffering. You deny yourself the very power that you seek by choosing to ignore those things that disturb or annoy you, those conditions in the body that harm or distract you from what you may consume. These things, again, when they cause discomfort in the body, you may choose to understand your causal relationship to the body, or you may choose to ignore your causal relationship to the body, in which case you will find yourself ignoring the very thing that you need to pay attention to in order to begin a process of transcendence, of deliberate evolution, beyond the subjectivity of the body, beyond the subjectivity of thoughts, beyond the subjectivity of your current emotional state. in availing yourself of higher information, in vibrationally aligning your awareness to higher frequencies of perception, you open yourself up to having a relationship, much the same as the relationship you had in the beginning of that biological form. You open yourself up to having a relationship with higher potentials in consciousness that can offer you information, ideas that would assist you and facilitate you in transcending your existing conditions. There are not many of you that understand quite what we're saying here, but let me say very clearly that that awareness that you may look up, sense up, become aware that there are other frequencies of knowledge and information beyond what your mind has received from this world. That conception alone can open the door to that receptivity, where you can become open and receptive to higher levels of knowledge and wisdom. Many of you may call this conception inspiration or intuition or divine guidance. Whatever name you give it, you have simply opened yourself up to receiving from above to that which you are below relative to that position in the spectrum of consciousness. Your body is a spectrum of consciousness that you can direct. It is a simple spectrum of consciousness, as are the thoughts that you hold in your physical mind, as are the emotions you hold in your physical body and in the field around you. But as long as you have cultivated this position of awareness, you are in the proper perspective to begin a process of self-evolution, to transcend your suffering, to transcend thoughts, to transcend conditions of matter that you think you may have no control over. But that requires that you be willing to be aware of your relationship relative to these things, to assume responsibility for your capacity to alter and change conditions of matter, time, and space through a matter of intention and clarity. The ability you have to instruct your physical body, the ability you have to instruct your physical mind, while it may seem obvious that you can get your body to walk or to talk, that you can get your mind to think this thought or that thing, well, that may seem obvious to you. It is not so obvious to some of you that you can transcend conditions of suffering in the body, conditions of suffering in the field of energy called emotion, that you as awareness have this capacity to alter and change conditions of energy as emotion, conditions of energy in biology, the body, and conditions of matter in terms of space and time around you. At this place in awareness, you are able to distinguish yourself from your thoughts and emotions. You can find yourself moving towards what you have been desiring as a concept, but in fact, which is a reality, that which is called freedom. The freedom to create, to select your thoughts, to alter emotion, which is simply the energy of creation, to open yourself up to higher knowledge and wisdom with clarity, to restore a vitality to the form, to restore a vitality to your expression here. You may receive the guidance and information of those that are relatively above you in terms of the consciousness spectrum, as equally as you may offer your knowledge and wisdom to those in the consciousness spectrum below you. And again, these terms of above and below are simply to denote that there are different perspective consciousnesses at different levels of awareness and the cultivation of that awareness. This is not to denote that one is greater or lesser than another. Simply that the creative expression of one is more developed than at another. The creative expression you had developed in that body when it was an infant body, the creative expression that you had as an infant body was relatively limited. And as you gained more awareness through that physical body, then your relative relationship to your ability to control and manipulate its functions evolved. You evolved it by the greater awareness that you cultivated based on the information that was given to you from the environment around you, those that were above you in consciousness and experience that had mastered walking and talking and language and thought. And from their perspective, you received what you would call, in your conventional terms, a download of information from them. And then you start to download that information yourself to direct the body to do this, to direct the mind to think this. You now assume the role that your teachers and your educators had assumed for you when you were in that early stages of your biological evolution in this physical dimension. But you are now at that place where you're saying, we wish to open up to higher guidance, for we cannot solve the problems of this world from the problems of this world. We must reach a higher level of perspective and understanding. And so here you are now, as above, so below. Are you willing to open to that which is above, as you did when you came into that body? I can assure you that if your vibrational constitution, that is the consciousness, the awareness that you cultivated, is vibrationally sound, and by that term, I mean in a resonant state of a higher frequency of energy, then you will receive higher frequencies of guidance. The energy of a divine consciousness, such as the one you would call the divine or God, to open up to its guidance is very different than opening up to the guidance of fear or anger, or what you would call the vibrational energy of that which you call Satan or evil. You are free to align your vibration through the act of free will to any level of consciousness that you would choose. Please understand, you were given free will for the purpose and experience of deliberately and intentionally articulating your own evolution and creation. And so I've simply come here to remind you that you are in this position of consciousness at all points of time, space, and other interdimensional elements of consciousness, that you, in fact, are always below and you are always above, and that you have the capacity to assume either position and be receptive to either position. And from that perspective, the evolution of your consciousness can become a deliberate and intentionally articulate process, where the level of precision in your capacity to alter and change mind and matter becomes a simple reorganization of idea, information, belief, and energy. And in the reorganization of idea, information, and energy, you become a deliberate and intentional creator of conditions in your life. Much better to do so than to be and remain an unconscious creator of conditions in your life, hoping that that which is above you will give you something better. But please be mindful of the vibrational constitution of those that would offer you wisdom and knowledge. Be very aware of the vibrational constitution from those who would offer you wisdom and knowledge. You are free, you are deliberately free to remain subjective until you decide to become aware, moving from a below position to an above position, or moving from an above position to a below position. That flipping of consciousness continues evermore throughout the continuum of being eternally. You may choose to become aware of the process and delight in it, or you may remain unconscious in it and suffer in it accordingly. And this is the simplest way that this can be explained in what you would call common language. The higher esoteric meanings of creation follow the same principles, but the conception and understanding that you require of your relationship to limitless energy, which is available to all equally. It is your awareness of your relationship to this limitless energy that can become the highest form of expression available while you are in a human form, wherein that this energy can literally organize and manipulate conditions of matter, time, and space in manners that you would call miraculous, which are fundamentally simple and practical when you understand the process of creation. It is only through your experience that you will begin to fully comprehend and understand what we are saying. What has been said today is the simplest way to understand: as above, so below. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Well, I hope you're going to join me for the meditation world. Saturday, 10 a.m., and it's a meditation going from fear to love. And this is so important because you, regardless of where you think you are, regardless of how happy or sad, or no matter where you are in consciousness, you can learn to move your mind and body from fear to love. And when you go through an experience where you can direct your body and you can direct your mind to move into a brand new state, it gives you knowledge. And this is so important. So I hope you'll join us for the meditation world from fear to love, and that's at 10 a.m. on Supernatural Saturday. Again, I want to thank Hermes for being present with us today. Yes, there was more than just the one. He says there were, because I asked him about the Emerald Tablet a second ago, and he said there was more than one tablet. There were many tablets. It was a huge library where these tablets, they were not simply tablets carved out of emerald and other precious stones. These were vibrational mechanisms that imparted to the user with proper knowledge the full scope and understanding of the conceptions that were contained within the crystalline structure of these elements. And this blew my mind that that's what actually these tablets were for. And there was apparently, he says there's still partial library still underground somewhere that's been collapsed onto, but there's many different tablets, not just the one emerald tablet. There's a diamond tablet, there's quartz tablets, there's amethyst tablets, there's different tablets, and each one contains the full sum potential knowledge and awareness, the vibration of the conceptions that were etched into that stone. It wasn't just words etched on a stone in this language. It was literally the vibrational truth and essential meaning of all that information. And that's so powerful when you think about it, that if you get a hold of this emerald tablet, you have the capacity to open yourself up to the vibrational knowledge that's been poured into that crystalline structure. You can literally download the full scope and awareness of that concept. He's saying that he has done this to a small extent to those of you that are willing to receive that today. This has been offered to you in this presentation. It has been offered to you to receive the deeper meanings of this conception of as above, so below. But there are other conceptions of consciousness, such as the process of deliberate manifestation, limitless creation, eternal health, and even the secrets of immortality are written in the structure of some of these tablets. Cool. I really like that. Thank you so much. Wow. Good morning. If you're new to the channel, thank you for coming by. Remember to give this video a thumbs up. Please, if you like this video, subscribe to the channel. Come back for more content. We'd love to have you. So please join up. Question from Adam. Can you ask my guides on what was the beautiful woman that what I saw in my mind's eye around a week ago? Why was she there? And what does she want me to know? What purpose was she there for? Wow, it's interesting. She's saying you were given a fleeting glimpse of your own true nature. To embrace this is to embrace others like this. This vibration that I communicated to you, this beauty that you call this word, this beauty, the vibration is what I offered you. If you have received it, then feel it in your heart, and do not think that it is necessary for me to be present with you, for you to live in that vibration. But to live in that vibration is to align yourself to the others such as this, that are as you are in that state of being. Wow, that's great. I'd like to paraphrase that if you don't mind. So if that vibration you felt when you first perceived her, that vibration that you felt was to assist you in aligning to the beauty of your being first, to align to that, so that you could become connected to and begin to recognize others of that energy, so that you can start seeing them and attracting them into your life that are like that. Because she's saying it's not about the physical beauty, it's about the vibrational reception and activation of beauty within the nature of your being's expression. Cool. Thank you, Adam. Great question. Wonderful, Danielle. I'll look at it today. I did see it. I only, for those of you that are my patrons, questions that you send me may not be answered on the day you send them because answers don't always come right away. Sometimes they say wait, and I wait, and they'll get answered when they say it is time to be answered. I follow a specific process that has worked very effectively, and you'll get your question answered in the time it's answered. It's like a chicken's egg takes 28 days to hatch. Sometimes it takes 29. Sometimes it takes 28 days and 2 hours. Be patient. When you put in a creation, it has to go through a period of gestation. Be patient. Question from Vertical. Tablets have a similar function to crystal skulls? He's saying yes. He's saying the crystal skulls embodied all of the sum of human knowledge as it was given to humans to understand when they were ready. These civilizations have had great difficulty in transcending their limitations. There are many of you that feel threatened by this higher knowledge. But to simply answer your question, the knowledge of the potential of humanity exists within what you call these crystal skulls. Some knowledge of all of that which you would call the esoteric realm exists within these tablets. But that which would liberate humanity from its suffering exists within the matrical energy of these crystal skulls. Wow, great question, Vertical. Thanks so much. Question from Michelle. Having a conversation day with my boss regarding my return to work after 6-month disability. Is there any advice regarding this phone call? I don't know who this is, but they're saying, if you're not excited, be prepared to be disappointed. But if you're excited to return to work, then make sure that your excitement is the most important thing to communicate what you truly desire. I don't know. They're also saying that there's a party that doesn't really want to go back. You're enjoying your freedom. But delight in this. Bring your excitement forth, if that is the truth. Bring your excitement forth, if that is the truth. Wow. Yeah, those indecisiveness, you find a whole new way of being, and now you're back to an old way of being. It's pretty cool. Question from Lauren. Oh, okay, absolutely, Lauren. My son deployed overseas today, requesting prayers for his safety. Thank you. This has already been established. It has been done. The light is with him and many others. Well, thank you, Lauren. Question from Rudy. May I get some guidance on the current love relationship due to some confusion in the mind on intentions? Wow. Wow. It's they're saying, yeah. There's like this hand up, like, whoa, like a slow down, step back from that a bit. Step back and look at it from a different vibration. Step back and look at it from a different vibration. You must place your fears aside. Place your fears aside, that you will hear and that they will see. It is difficult to see the truth through fear. You cannot see or know the truth through fear, whether that fear is yours or that of the beloved. The truth cannot be seen through fear. Wow. Thank you so much for that question. Isn't that true? Oh, you're welcome, Daniela. You're very welcome. Wow. One more question from Adam. Okay, but who was that spirit? What was her name and who exactly she is? What realm did she come from? She says, you're not ready for that. You are not ready for that. It would simply get in the way of the very lesson that you called forth to be offered. You called forth for higher guidance and wisdom and knowledge, and it was offered to you. And you wish to minimize me to simply a form of flesh that you can comprehend and understand, rather than comprehend the nature of the beauty that is being exchanged. The vibration of beauty is far more important than the identification of its source. Wow. Thank you, Adam. Appreciate that. Question from Diane. Apparition of Mary, is she Mother Gaia? No, but they have a close relationship in that Mary is kind of like the Earth Mother, where she's the mother, what's the best word for that? The mother of the divine feminine, as it should be embodied in human physical form, whereas Gaia is the embodiment of the divine on a global form, which embraces planetary consciousness. They differ in degree and intensity and function, but in that they are expressing an unconditional love is the common denominator between them. They are linked by this common denominator of unconditional love. Wow, cool. Great question. I love that. Time for one more question today, everybody. Wow. Question from Lauren. Do we need objects to guide and protect us? If you understood the true nature of your capacity as a sentient consciousness aligned to an infinite potential, these things would be absolutely unnecessary when you understand that vibration coordinates and organizes the nature of your experiences, the physical, mental, and emotional dimensions of being. It is the understanding of your vibrational capabilities and creative expression that you need to understand. But for some of you, if your belief in an object is strong and you have a strong alignment energetically to it, then it will offer you that, but it is not the thing itself that offers you that. It is the vibrational relationship you've established by that belief. Your belief establishes a vibrational relationship between yourself and the thing you believe in, thereby producing very specific and precise results in the conditions of your being. So yes, a penny may be as lucky as a diamond. It is all in what you choose to believe. Wow, thank you so much. And again, I want to thank you for that question, Diane. I want to thank everybody for coming out today. And please join us for the meditation tomorrow, from fear to love. When you give your body and your mind the direction to move from a state of fear to a state of love, you gain a level of understanding and truth about your creative potential as a soul, not as an ego, not as a personality, not as a collage of memories, not as who you've been taught to think you are, but as a soul, as an awareness that has a mind and has a body, that can direct the mind and body to be in frequencies and states of consciousness that you would call love or joy or bliss or whatever state it is that's really uplifting for you. But learning to experience yourself as the one able to generate that process for yourself, being able to generate the process of moving yourself from a lower vibration to a higher vibration, that you can deliberately move your consciousness from fear to love. You can move your body from anxiety to calm, to gain the experience that you can do that is what the meditation is about tomorrow. And again, the Divine Collective will be guiding that meditation tomorrow. So I hope that you'll join us for that meditation at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. And please, if you want to support this channel, please become a member at our Patreon page, patreon.com/William Michael Forbes. Other ways you can support this channel is through the Super Chat. If you have a question you really want it answered, you can use the Super Chat feature. Proceeds from our YouTube channel go to a group we call our Underground Railroad, which is a group that supports liberating children from the sex slave trade industry. So please support us in that way if you possibly can. I want to wish you all much love. I look forward to seeing you at the meditation tomorrow. I want to thank Hermes and the other beings that came present with us today. Thank you so much. I wish you all much love. Have a wonderful and a joyful day. Bye for now.